is WJTV News Channel 12 this morning.
Doing kind of a different event. We're doing something called The Church Has Left the Building, because the church isn't a building, the church is the people.
Marvin United Methodist Church in Florence turns Sunday service into community service. It is Sunday morning. We're putting faith in focus. The church has left the building. Yes, the saying is a takeoff of Elvis has left the building, and it's just as literal. The entire congregation heads out of the doors of the church during time usually spent in the pews. It's a trial run of a program in Florence, putting faith in focus. It all starts in the same place, but the outfits are a tad more grungy than usual. Note the jean shorts worn by Pastor Robbie Murden.
So we're hoping that this is going to be a teaching opportunity for people to know to go out into the world and to meet God out in the world and to reflect His love and grace and mercy to everyone they meet.
Great to go.
Susan Smith's been a member at Marvin United Methodist for more than 20 years. It's the first time the community has ever completely replaced their Sunday service with volunteering.
We're using shovels and hose. We do not need to be just sitting in churches all the time and doing nothing. We need to put our aprons on and get out and serve, and we do not need to sit with our bibs on and be fed all the time.
And around a dozen different groups spreads across the community and the surrounding areas. Just about 1,000 yards away, these guys are helping build a fence around a dumpster for their service project. In total, about 150 church members are a part of this effort, and they all have that same goal of giving back. Pastor Murden says people already have 51 weeks each year to work out what he calls their vertical peace with God.
And so this is 1 week that we have the opportunity to go out and to work on this horizontal section, this section where we're reaching out to other people. And that of course is the cross that we want to reach out to and be a part of and to show the world Jesus Christ and His love and grace and mercy.
So we can just show people that we are who we are and that we're not just going to sit in church and be the inside Christian, that we're the outside Christians too.
The church did have an evening service to regroup and talk about that experience. And if your church community is doing something creative or you'd just like to share it with the viewers of News Channel 12, get in contact with me. You can find my information in the faith section of WJTV.com.
This morning.
How does a church bring in younger members without isolating the older ones? Griffith Memorial Baptist Church just might have a solution. It's Sunday morning. We're putting faith in focus. Without children, a church will die, and that is meant to be a quite literal statement coming from the pastor of Griffith Memorial Baptist Church off of Terry Road. This brand new pastor to the church is trying to reinvigorate the youth, but does it come at the expense of the majority? The more seasoned church members don't think so. It's Sunday morning. We're putting faith in focus. For nearly 2 decades, Cheryl Covington's been attending Griffith Memorial. She's seen changes in the church during that time, but the biggest differences are when she thinks of worship in her own childhood.
When I was small, I was in church every day, but my family went to church, but it's kind of like we kept God in a box. You know, we didn't have children's church when I was a little girl, and we didn't have anything that extra for the children. You went into big church, and you had to sit there, and you couldn't talk, you couldn't do anything.
That's not the case here, where Sunday nights for high schoolers plays out like a weekly Bible study retreat. Even more programs are getting pushed by Pastor Andy Fullington.
Believe that our senior adults are the backbone of the church. Our children are the future of the church, and without them we will die. We believe that the pitter-patter of feet is not only energy and enthusiasm, but it is excitement in the Lord's church.
If we do not reach our children by the age of 13, that there's a 70% chance that we will not reach them at all. And by the time they reach 18, it drops down into the teens.
And the older folks at this church are embracing these new or renewed programs for teenagers, saying that they'll volunteer any way that they can.
I think it's really important that they grow up learning that, because as an adult, I just have really, for a number of years, realized that Christ is really with me every day.
And it's that message that Pastor Fullington wants taken into the mission field, a reminder painted above each exit.
We are called to be the light of the world, not the light of the church.
That Sunday evening class for kids around the high school age is called Kids Quest. It's choir practice meets Bible study, and it has been attracting a lot of attention in the surrounding community. And if you'd like the viewers of News Channel 12 to learn more about your church and its members, you can find my information in the faith section of WJTV.com. We'll be right back.
This is WJTV News Channel 12 this morning.
To build a place where all people can come, where people feel comfortable, where at the foot of the cross we understand we can find common ground.
A faith community blooms in West Jackson, putting an issue front and center that's often avoided in churches. It's Sunday morning. We're putting faith in focus. Almost everyone knows the saying, Sunday morning has the most segregated hour in America, and that's when Christians head off to church. The argument's been made it's simply a difference in style, or that economic inequality makes it difficult to integrate, but a new church in West Jackson named Common Ground is stating that diversity goal. They're not quiet about it. They're putting faith in focus. Singer and church member Michelle Turner says West Jackson needs uplifting. She thinks about the community, keeping her 2-year-old, Kai Elizabeth, in mind.
We have a lot of poverty. We have a lot of low economic status. We have a lot of families that are broken, families that are just, single parent families like myself.
When we talk about West Jackson, we talk about, a lot of people see crime, violence. 73% of the families within our community, the children are being raised without fathers in the home. So we have single mother homes mostly.
Lead pastor John Perkins says he believes the church was called to this area, pushing the idea of discipleship.
Mission statement of our church.
Not just bringing people to believe in Jesus, but also turning them into mentors in the community, multiplying the impact. And along with the community healing, there is another goal to intentionally and deliberately bring together a racially diverse group of people. But you may have already figured that out. The church's name is Common Ground.
To bring forth a multi-ethnic, a multi-generational community of people is very difficult. A lot of people are telling us that it can't be done. When we come into the midst of the fellowship, you see this mixed melting pot of people, and you start to get happy and excited because you see sort of the divisions in life are fading away.
And for Michelle Turner, a former educator in West Jackson, these are issues that interested her when she learned the church was being planted.
It was important to me because these are my children. They've always been my children. And knowing that there is a greater power that loves you greater than any absent father or any absent mother or any absent anything. So being able to provide a presence in that community that heals just in whole. There are a lot of people that are just broken.
The church is still going through its trial period. Housed in Voice of Calvary Church in Jackson, they're holding welcome services one Sunday a month until their planned grand opening March 2nd. And if you'd like to share your church community with the viewers of News Channel 12, you can find my contact information on our website, WJTV.com.